it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today we are going to talk pen faves. So I have not done one of these videos in a couple of years now, but one of my most popular videos on this channel is a pen faves video from way back when. It still comes up in, I guess, the search engine, I don't know, but it keeps coming up, and so I thought I would do an updated one. This one is way different than the other pen faves videos that I've done in the past, and it is basically going to be the same pens you guys have seen in the last couple of years of videos. So I do have a notebook here. This is actually a vegan leather Erin Condren notebook. I just put a festive cover on it, so it looks kind of weird with the other one sticking out, but I don't mind. I want it to be nice and festive, so we're just gonna flip to a clean page here. This is an Erin Condren productivity notebook, so it's got the little checklist on the side. We're gonna ignore that and just use this side here. So we're gonna talk my number one top fave pen I've had a little bit of trouble with, and I went into this year thinking this is my favorite pen, nothing else even compares, I'm not in the market for anything different, but I ended up getting some refills that have not been great. They have been skippy, and I have just not absolutely loved this pen anymore, which is a big shift. I've used the same pen now for years, and this year with the refills on it not being the greatest, I have fallen a little bit out of love with it. I still use it a lot. It's still one of my top faves, but it's not the only fave anymore. There's more pens around now, but this is the Pentel Energel with a metal barrel. I do have multiples of these metal barrel ones. I just love the way they look. I love how heavy they are. They're not that expensive. They're like 10 bucks, and I just love them. So I have quite a few different colors of these. Let's see, I've got a purple one here that needs to be refilled. I didn't get any purple refills yet. The purple wrote completely fine. Didn't have any trouble with it, but the black refills I got have been just skippy, and I haven't liked how they've performed, especially on the Erin Condren paper that's really toothy. It just jumps, and I just can't stand it. So I haven't really been using the black ink all that much. I think I just need to throw those refills away and get new refills, but I hate paying for something and not using it, so I've been trying to use them. So yeah, metal barrels, they're beautiful, I love them, and they also come in plastic barrels, so I've got some pink ones in these plastic barrels, and they're okay. They're just not as heavy, but it's the same ink, the same beautiful writing, and I find these ones also don't skip. It's just that one pack of refills that I've gotten. But yeah, Pentel Energel is totally my favorite. You can get these all sorts of places, including Amazon, so I tend to purchase one here and there as I'm Amazon browsing. So those ones are great. I will write, the purple one is out, so I don't have any ink for the purple one, but that is my number one still, even though it just has been iffy sometimes. Like there it wrote beautifully, it's smooth, it's beautiful, and then sometimes it will skip a bunch on all of these curves. Any of the curvy letters I'll get skipping. M's and N's and things like that. So I would say if you get a bad pack of refills, try again. Every other time for years, I've not had a problem with them until just recently. So that's something to note. And then the colors that they come in are beautiful as well. Love the colors. I bought packs of pink refills a lot too. Love those. So those are still my number one, but with the one asterisk next to the black ink. And then the other one that I have been loving lately, I thought about doing like a full-on review of these, but I think it's just fine to stick this in the favorites video. It's the Sharpie S gel pen. These do write like a ballpoint pen. They kind of have a little bit of gelness to them. I love the thick, nice line you get with these, and I also love this particular barrel. I know they do come in other barrel colors, but I really like the white with the little grippy thing, and I like them. They are lightweight pens, so they're not going to give you the same feel as something like this, but I really have liked these lately. Basically, I keep one of these connected to certain notebooks. Like this notebook is my ideas and YouTube notes notebook. It always has one of these S gel pens clipped to it now. It's quickly becoming one that I use regularly. And I just write so nice, like write smooth. The ink looks like a gel pen, but it writes and performs like a ballpoint pen, which is really nice, and you get really good results with this one. And yeah, I just love it. The only thing I have to say that's bad about this one is the clip is kind of small, so I always feel like I'm gonna bust the clip when I'm clipping it. You can see it like bows out a little bit when you clip it to something, but I haven't had one of them break yet. I'm sure they will over time, but I have a pack of these and they're all over the place. I just really like them. They're cheap, they're easy to use, they write really well. And this is one that performed really well on the Tomoe River paper. I did have to let it dry, of course, but it looks and performs really nice on that paper as well. And then another one that I've gone in and out of love with is also a Sharpie. This is just the Sharpie pen. Now these are the needle tip type of pens. So if you're heavy-handed, they do have a tendency over time to bend and break. And I do have one that is broken, but I have still been using it. But yeah, it will do that sort of thing where it gets wonky and bends. So sometimes they won't work when you do that, and sometimes they will still work pretty nicely. So this one I still use because it does work nicely, but I have to have it at exactly the right angle to make it still work. But these Sharpie pens come in lots of colors, and they're nice and juicy and write really well. And they, you know, they're the needle tip type of pen, so you get a different feel. I find that I can write kind of on the side with these, but they definitely perform better when you're writing pretty much upright with these kind of needle tip pens, but you can write on the side pretty good. Oh, maybe not. You can write on the side slightly. They just don't perform nearly as good. You can see it's like scratching and not performing quite as good. So definitely needle tip, you have to be more upright with these guys. And they do have a tendency to break over time, but they do come in lots of fun colors, and I really like the way that they write when you do actually write them the correct upright way. They look really nice, and I have been using this one exclusively for the Tomoe River paper that is in the Sterling Ink Common Planner. I've been using this one exclusively. It looks great in there. It also dries pretty fast in that. And then as far as colorful pens, I have one top fave for that, and you won't be surprised because I've done pen swatches on this. My top fave for a colorful pen is the Twin Tones, and these are more like felt tip marker pens, but they have two sides of them, and I love them. And they come in tons of color. I have all 3 packs of the Twin Tones. They're just bright and beautiful. They write nice and beautifully. And then they have 2 tip sizes. So there is the bigger tip and then the thinner tip if you want something very thin. They write beautifully. There's just tons and tons of colors. I've got just bunches of these pens. And I love the way that they look. I love the simple barrel style. They're beautiful. They come in lots of colors, and they are just my #1 as far as a colored pen. All right, as far as other things, by default, these are all dual tipped, so you can use them as a writing tool along with their intended purpose. So we've got a Tombow dual brush pen. So of course this is for brush lettering, and that's all fine and dandy, but it also can work as a pen. So this is the Tombow. Works great, comes in tons and tons of colors, writes beautifully. And then we also have a dot pen. These are the Zig Clean Color dot pen. I love these for checklisting. You just add a little checklist down, and then you can cross them off, or you can actually use this as your checklist. You dot them as you complete the task, but by default, it also works as a pen. Let's see, dot pen. And it's beautiful. So I love that you can get coordinating colors. Your dot can be the same color as your writing, and then your brush lettering can also be the same color as your writing. And these ones also serve as a highlighter as well. You can totally highlight things with a brush pen like that. And then I also have a different highlighter that I really like. The mild liners, of course, are going to be top of the list for highlighting because there are lots of different color options for these, but you can also write with them as well. So I'm going to show you both of these. I also have the mild liner brush pens, and they have different pen sizes. So we've got the mild liner, of course. We'll talk about highlighters in their own section in a second, but we're talking just writing pens here. And then this is the mild liner, and this is a little bit thicker of a tip. Okay, so there's your like bold writing option if you want a colorful option. And then the brush pens have a different tip on them. So of course it's a brush pen. You can use it as a brush, you can use it as a highlighter, which we'll talk highlighters in a minute. And then their tip is a little bit finer point than that one. You can see that totally different look with a skinnier fine tip, but the brush pens come in the exact same colors as the regular highlighters. So you get the option for highlighting, brush pen, bolder tip, finer tip in the same big pack of colors, which I love. So these ones are great options. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Amazon has the big packs and individual packs, like the new colors come in a 5-pack like that. So you can really choose what colors you want, or get the whole set. Like me, I want to collect them all like Pokemon. I want to catch them all. So there are great options for colorful pens. You got Twin Tones, Tombows, the dot pen, and then the mild liner brush and highlighters. Get lots of colorful options, and between all that, I've got tons and tons of colorful options. So those are my faves in those categories. Now, as far as highlighting, I showed you guys some of my favorite highlighters. The Tombos come in tons and tons of colors. They are great for highlighting. The mild liners, of course, are great for highlighting. And if you just have brush pens, you can highlight with those as well. But I also have a couple of other ones that I have found this year that are top faves as well. I have one cheap Amazon pick. These are Zeyar, Z-E-Y-A-R, and they come in lots of really pretty colors. I've got lots of these like muted pastel-y type of colors with them, and they are just really, really pretty. The Zeyar pen. And this one, again, you can use the other end as well. You can also use these as a colorful pen option as well, but they are a lot more muted, lighter colors, so I find that I don't tend to grab them for a colorful pen writing option, but they are beautiful for highlighters. I'll show you a couple of the colors that I've got here. They do have some that are in the brighter category as well, but they're like really pretty colors. Some of them are called macarons, so you get that like pastel-y type of vibe from them, and then they have a set. This one says Morandi color, so these are like the brighter color options, and they're just really pretty. I like the way they look. I like that they're kind of like chunkier pens, and they work really nicely, and they're also cheap on Amazon, which is great. And then I found one other budget pick as well. These are the Sharpie S Note highlighters, and these ones are a much thinner highlighting strip, but they come in really very muted, again, like pastel-y type of vibes from a lot of these ones. These ones are single-sided, so it's strictly just highlighter, but I find that their streak is a little bit skinnier than other highlighters, but they're nice. They come in really pretty colors. This one is more of a brighter side color. You see that? But they just come in nice colors, and I like them. So I have them over here as well, and they're very beautiful. They're very skinny type of highlighters. And there you go. That's basically most of what I use. I've got a few Erin Condren packs here and there, but these are the majority of my colorful and black pen options. I just really, really like them. I like that a lot of them can be purchased right off Amazon, so it's a super easy, quick, cheap option. And I love that you can refill these metal barrels. They're still my number one, still love them, even with the caveat of the black ink skipping with the refill pack I got. I've never had this happen before, but I'm pretty miffed that I got a whole 12 pack and it seems like a few of them have already been skipping. So there you go. There is my pen faves for 2022. I will leave relevant links down below. These are all great options. I do plan on doing pen faves for the Tomoe River paper when I figure out what pens I like, what brush pens I'm going to use in there. I'm testing out the pens I currently have, and then I have a lot on my wish list to purchase and test out. So I will be doing that video probably into 2023. So be looking for that. Once I experiment with all the pens, I'll have a good list of pen faves for that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to check out the description box if you're interested in anything, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.